Fulfilling the needs of your citizens is a core system in any Anno game. But what are the details you should pay attention to and how can you maximize your efficiency? Let's take a look at how it works in Anno 117 Pax Romana. Just like you and me, our citizens in Anno have certain needs that need to be fulfilled. They want food, clothing, luxury goods, and access to public services. Once their needs are met, they can be upgraded to the next citizen tier, with each tier having a larger set of needs. So what kind of needs are we talking about? There are two types in general. First, we have consumption needs, where production buildings produce certain goods that are then consumed by your citizens. Examples of these are sardines, bread, or sandals. Secondly, we have service needs, which are fulfilled by placing certain buildings that have an area of effect. Examples of these are the marketplace, the tavern, and the grammaticus. Next, needs are organized into categories such as food, public service, and fashion, with higher tier citizens adding new categories that contain goods or services more complex to produce or provide. Each category in turn is divided into a number of bars, which represent that category's required supply value. For example, the Roman Libertus residence only has one bar for each category, and so each one has a required supply value of 1. Being the first population tier, these residencies are the easiest to upgrade. A slightly more advanced example is the public service category of a smith residence from the Celts, which contains 3 bars and thus has a required supply value of 3. So what do you need to build or produce in order to fill these bars? Opening the drop-down menu of any category shows you which goods or services count towards fulfilling that category's needs, and you can choose how you want to fulfill each category. For instance, the food needs for a Libertus residence can be fulfilled by providing either sardines or porridge. In another example, the Plebeian residence has a required supply value of 3 in the public services category, where you can choose to build any combination of the market, tavern, grammaticus, and sanctuary in order to reach the required supply value. When the required supply value for each category has been reached, the residence can be upgraded. Or in other words, once all bars of all categories are full, you'll be able to upgrade a residence to the next population tier. But the system isn't as straightforward as simply filling 3 bars with 3 types of goods and you're done. The game offers choice and flexibility in how you reach or overperform on the supply value. All goods and services each have their own individual supply values that count towards reaching the total required supply value. Let's take a look at the food category for plebeians as an example. As you can see in the tooltip, sardines contribute 1 point when they are supplied in full. Bread, on the other hand, counts as 2, so sardines and bread together will count as 3 towards the required supply value for this category. This means you can meet the exact demand, indicated by a green bar, or you can choose to overperform, indicated by a golden bar. Overperforming simply means you'll get all of the additional attribute bonuses that come from each of the additional needs, which are then also fulfilled. So while you can make do with supplying your citizens only with the bare minimum to advance them to the next population tier, it certainly pays off to try and supply them with more, if not all, of their demands if possible. In addition to how needs work and how they can be fulfilled, there are some other important details to take into consideration. For instance, the goods that you produce are consumed directly from your island storage. All of your warehouses are part of one huge inventory pool. It's not like the warehouse closest to the docks just stores the sardines and only there, and then they have to distribute sardines across the entire island from that single warehouse. No. When sardines are available at the docks, they'll be available in any warehouse on the same island. And this goes for every single product in your warehouses. When it comes to services, your residences simply need to be in range of a public service building in order to have a particular need fulfilled. Another detail is that the consumption rate of goods is calculated for the entire island, in addition to the supply value for each residence. So, how many needs need to be fulfilled before it can be upgraded? There's also the consumption rate to take into account. This basically comes down to how much, let's say, porridge needs to be produced for the entire island. 2 quick ways to check if you're producing enough is to select any warehouse and take a look at the stock level indicator for any good. Green means it's going up, brown means it's balanced, and red means you may need to increase production for that specific good. Another way is to select the production overview at the top of your screen, which can give you more details per good. Also important to know is that the supply value of any category can also be reached by combining partially fulfilled needs. So when you reach the point where the food needs of your tier 1 citizens can no longer be fully supplied by just one fishing hut and one porridge stand, their supply rate will start to drop from 100% to whatever level they're able to sustain. When both those food suppliers only work for 50% efficiency and thus only contribute half a point each towards the required supply value, combined they still count as 1. This is because the game uses decimals to calculate the bonuses from the need attributes. Supplying goods and services to your citizens also provides you with bonuses, which can have either a positive or negative effect on your population. Would you like to know more about these need attributes, how they work, and how you can get the most value out of them? Then check out the video on my left. Or if you'd like to hear my thoughts on my Anno 117 preview, check out the one on the right. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Anno 117 Pax Romana content, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.